law enforcement officials located many chemical substances, some explosive in nature and others which can be used to make explosive substances. It's believed that the owner of the property has been in possession of these materials for some time, in some cases for several years.
Right now, tonight here at 5, a state of emergency declared for Applegate Lane and Highview as Mayor Craig Greenberg announces the city will be burning down a home full of explosives and massive amounts of chemicals. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. City leaders say that controlled burn is the only safe option for investigators, neighbors, and the entire community. The house on Applegate Lane, where investigators found explosive and hazardous materials, was right here on your screen. This happened after conducting a search warrant last week. We are told the home looked like a hoarder's home, full of clutter, dangerous chemicals, and explosives material. The hazardous house is just south of the outer loop between Smyrna Parkway and Shepherdsville Road.
There are many questions about why the mayor and emergency officials chose to go this route, and we do have answers to some of those questions for you tonight with our team coverage. Alexis Jones is on Applegate Lane talking to the neighbors who will be directly impacted by the controlled burn at the property.
But we do start with Grace McKenna. She was at Metro Safe this morning, hearing from city leaders and police about exactly how this is going to work.
The city believes that this controlled burn is its only option to dispose of everything inside the home and keep all of the neighbors around it safe. The descriptions they provided today paint a better picture of what was inside that home and just why that burn is necessary. An investigation, detonation, and now action.
There's a lot that goes into this. This is not a common situation.
After finding hazardous and explosive chemicals inside this Highview home, the city plans to burn it to the ground.
We're just so grateful today that it is controlled. It is a secure, and put in this term, a secure lab at this point.
Tuesday, Mayor Craig Greenberg said the home, owned by 53-year-old Mark Hibble, is effectively that of a hoarder packed with debris, making it impossible to safely remove the chemicals also inside. He says emergency officials believe a controlled burn is the only path forward.
All of the advice that we have received is that doing this controlled and monitor and planned burn will incinerate these chemicals at a very high temperature.
LMPD Chief Jackie Gwynn Villaroel said community tips made the discovery possible, leading undercover investigators to Hibble's home.
He then showed the investigators an explosive compound identified by the subject as picric acid.
Gwynn Villaroel said Hibble was squatting in a second home on the street. According to arrest records, Hibble told investigators he previously detonated homemade explosives in his yard. He's now in LMDC facing charges of wanton endangerment.
The chemical experiments conducted by Hibble were reckless and highly dangerous.
At Tuesday's news conference, I asked Mayor Greenberg where Hibble may have gotten the hazardous materials.
This is still an ongoing criminal investigation, and so we are not going to release those details at that time.
LMPD is watching the home 24/7, and Greenberg says it's more secure than it's been in years.
The safety of our entire city is our priority.
Though soon, the whole thing and what's inside will go up in smoke.
We do want to emphasize no date has been set yet for the controlled burn. Now, WHAS11 News has been covering the story and the removal of the chemicals since last week. Today, after the downtown news conference, the Metro Council member of that district headed to Applegate Lane to start one-on-one talks with the neighbors.
He says he was met with mixed reaction. Some neighbors very grateful, others seriously concerned. WHAS11's Alexis Jones and photojournalist Jessica Farley were there talking to the neighbors.
It's the talk of the town.
It's hard to comprehend. It's overwhelming. You're like, this doesn't happen around here.
Sisters Mary Sutton and Lori Miller grew up near Applegate Lane. They say over the years, neighbors watched Mark Hibble inside this home next door, but they never knew what he was capable of. Since Hibble's arrest, they say their once quiet neighborhood hasn't been the same. Though both homes are now blocked off and protected by law enforcement, both women are still worried for their mother's safety.
How can you do a controlled burn and tell me there's no issues health-wise? You know, because you're still burning whatever's in that house.
Councilman Jeff Hudson addressed questions while walking door to door just hours after Tuesday's press conference. He says he understands residents' concerns, but assures the real threat is now behind them.
This house has been sitting here in an extremely dangerous state for years. And once it was brought to light, within days, it was made secure. And within weeks, it'll be made safe.
And Councilman Hudson says he and the city will address more concerns next week during a community meeting. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, that public meeting for the residents is set for next Tuesday. Now, this is the first time this approach has ever been taken in Louisville by authorities burning down a house that is part of a crime scene. Late today, we obtained the affidavit signed with new details. Inside, they found both primary and secondary explosives, 20 different chemicals, gallons and tens of gallons of chemicals found inside that home. Tonight at 6, we will answer the question, how does the city have the authority to burn down a privately owned house? Also, follow new information on this developing story on our website at WHAS11.com. And you are talking about Applegate Lane on the rant line coming right up.
Right now, a jury is deliberating in Floyd County in connection to a double murder case. Today was the final day of trial for Sherrock Douglas. Douglas is accused of shooting his wife Brandy and a bystander, Lauren Yell, at a gas station in New Albany in 2021. Last week, prosecutors showed gas station surveillance video, police body camera footage, and interviews between police and Douglas. Defense attorneys told jurors Douglas didn't plan the violence and expressed regret when he said, quote, "I have just killed the woman I love." Today, Douglas took the stand in his own defense. The jury started deliberations just before 3 o'clock this afternoon.
August around Louisville used to be called the hazy, hot, and humid month, but I am really loving August 1st if we've got temperatures like this. I mean, shut the AC off and open the windows in August. It's crazy.
It is absolutely beautiful out there. Ben, did we get to hang on to it this week?
Just a little while longer. So really appreciate this because it is August after all, and it's certainly going to get a lot hotter as we head into the weekend again. But a beautiful night for some baseball. It's just the beginning of this week's homestand with the Omaha Storm Chasers. The Bats' first pitch at 6:35 at Slugger Field with temperatures mostly in the lower 80s throughout the region. Right now at 84 degrees, low humidity, and feeling fantastic. So some fairly rare, comfortable air for this time of the year. Looking live over Slugger Field here, 82 and 84 are current temps. Live view with our Hughes and Coleman cam, put over our U of L Health Camera Network. Very light breeze out there and kind of a reverse heat index. It actually feels a degree cooler thanks to that low humidity at 38%. So just a wonderful evening out there. Temperatures right now mostly in the lower 80s, sitting right at 80 in Hodgenville and LaGrange, 81 in Corden and Brandenburg, and a mostly sunny sky overhead. Weather just a little more active out to our west, but it will stay quiet for tonight. Our temperatures fall through the 70s a little bit later this evening towards sunset. Full moon comes up right around 9:30, and overnight it will be a bright night with low temperatures in the low to middle 60s. So once again, the AC gets a little bit of a break. Our temperatures tomorrow will top out in the mid to upper 80s. I think that 90s just a little bit too warm on the weather model right there, but another nice day tomorrow with low humidity. Nice and mild for tonight. Low temperature at 66 degrees. Lower 80s at lunchtime tomorrow. A mix of sun and some clouds passing on through. Warm and dry with that high temperature of 89 degrees. Now, after another nice one tomorrow, we've got some big changes on the way for Thursday. We'll be tracking that rain right there coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Brian O'Neill is officially the new chief of the Louisville Fire Department. His swearing-in ceremony with Mayor Craig Greenberg took place this morning.
To hold office to which I have been appointed.
To hold office to which I have been appointed.
So help me God.
I give my word.
Congratulations.
O'Neill has been with the fire department since 2003, most recently serving as battalion chief. He has also served as the union president of the Louisville Professional Firefighters, Local 54. He did that for a decade. Today, he takes his new position, saying that he wants the department to carry forward with lessons from its former chief.
Well, today being August 1st is oftentimes the traditional retirement time. And you'll hear a lot of people in the department talking about there's so many years of experience that we've lost that have gone out the door today. And I tell you, to the members of the fire department, if you think like that, if you feel like that, then you have failed to listen and learn from all of those that have gone before. Because the spirit of all of those firefighters that are retiring, that breathes in every apparatus and in every firehouse, and it should be carried right here in every firefighter. Remember those lessons that they gave us, and it's up to us now to take them forward.
Former Chief Greg Frederick officially retired after 39 years of service today. He spent 24 of those years as the chief of Louisville Fire.
Released from the hospital just last week, now the community is honoring the Metro police officer who was shot in the head during the mass shooting in April. To help support Nicholas Wilt and his family, Independence Bank and the St. Matthews Police Department are joining forces. They are hosting Wilt Week. It started out with a donation box, but St. Matthews Police tell us Independence Bank wanted to do a lot more, and now we have a full week of events for the community to join in to help. On your screen right now, we've got the full list of just some of the events taking place during Wilt Week. You can see they last all the way from today, August 1st, down through the 4th. And Texas Roadhouse is also donating 100% of the profits from 4 of its Louisville restaurants today to Officer Wilt's family. That includes dine-in, carry-out, and all online payments. The Texas Roadhouse on the Outer Loop is also getting a visit from the mayor later tonight. The WHAS11 night team will be there, and we'll have the story at 11 as we cover Wilt Week. Plus, we posted the full list of activities for this week on WHAS11.com.